In today's video, I'm going to teach you how you can quit your 9 to 5 with Amazon FBA. No guru rubbish. I'm actually going to go through the exact 1 year, 2 year strategy that's allowed me to go from a broke university student to running my own successful full-time Amazon FBA business to the point where I actually have time to do other things, which is what my audience mostly is and what you guys, hopefully watching this, want to do. You want to build a business that you can somewhat exit, you can have it automated, and you can do the things that you really want to do. Do we really dream of doing Amazon FBA forever? Not really, for me personally anyway. I want to build it as a means to get to a different level. And this is by far, in my opinion, the best business to start off, to allow you to grow and allow you to start other businesses with the experience that you're going to learn, with the experience that you're going to learn in terms of entrepreneurship, the lessons that you're going to learn. So we're going to go through it today, exactly how in a 1-2 year phase plan, depending on the amount of capital that you got and how you were going to do this, and how I did it as well, and how some of my students, like my student Cedric, who has now gone full-time with FBA, my student Finley, who's full-time with FBA, and so many other more who are all now full-time with Amazon FBA because they've managed to use this exact strategy to scale their business. So let's get straight into it. In today's video, we're simply going to be using this whiteboard. I was going to do like a screen recording for you guys, but I think the whiteboard is really, really key. I'm going to literally show you exactly how you are going to go from the situation you're in right now to then running the full-time Amazon FBA business. Now, excuse the pink, we had no other color, but yeah, we're gonna start this off. Now, there are two types of people when it comes to Amazon FBA. We have the 9 to 5er, because we said quit your job, and then we have the part-time uni student. So someone who's kind of like a part-time worker, uni student. 9 to 5, I do classify as apprentice as well, because apprentices, a lot of my students who are apprentices, you guys are pretty much full-time with it. You've got low amounts of time available. And if we do someone that works, I'm just going to space it out. We've got part-time, and then we've got uni as well. So uni student. Or part-time job, sixth form student. Then you've got 9 to 5 and apprentices. So let's kind of draw a line between the two, because they do have two different circumstances. This was me. I was part-time uni. I wasn't this fully. So one of my students, like Cedric, for example, when he came to me, he was in this situation, and now he's obviously full-time. And we navigated a plan which worked very, very effectively. And I've done it for so many others as well. So let's get straight into the plan. So if you're a 9 to 5 or an apprentice, you have to understand that you probably have maybe more money than someone over here. You should ideally have at least 1.5K to 2K to your name to invest into starting. Now, if you have more than that, it's great. So we'll go through the two types of individuals that I've worked with, because like I said, I've taught hundreds of students at this point. I've helped so many different people with mostly these circumstances get to where they need to get to. And most of them have this number, or they have this number. Okay. Now over here, the uni and the part-time student, most of you guys have maybe £500, or you're a uni student that has SFE most of the time, or you have a part-time job you saved up and you've got that 1.5K plus. Okay, I haven't actually met a lot of uni students or part-time people that have more than 5K. Most of you guys have 1.5 or 500. When I was there, that's all I had as well. So I don't blame you guys. That's just how it is. And if you're a 9 to 5 or an apprentice, most of you will have this available. And if you are that and you only have that, then it's cool. We'll go through that strategy. So why don't we start with the smallest number? So why don't we start with £500? Now, if you've got £500 to your name, my recommendation, to be honest with you, is to save up a bit more. However, I think all action is good action, so I would still get started with FBA. So I would look to get started with FBA. Now, in terms of getting started with FBA, with £500, you know, this is a solid amount of money. In terms of learning, so if we do learning, how are we going to actually learn? Well, in terms of learning, we're simply going to go down the SS Uni Free Guide route. This is what it was built for. It was built for you guys with this amount of capital. And you're essentially going to be looking to launch like your first product. So launch first product. And for you guys, I would basically set this target for yourself. You want to hit your first maybe 1K in sales. This is your target. So target equals within about 2-3 months. And and that's about £300 profit. So you're basically making a 50% return on what you got, which is great. And what I actually want you to do is, in the meantime, I want you to be saving up more. Now, when we talk about saving up more, I want you to be putting money away from here into FBA. So saving up more, or I want you to be getting access to more, okay? So far, £500, we've got free guide, launch first product, make first 1K in sales 2-3 months. But in that 2-3 months period, let's actually talk about saving up. Okay, saving up, you know, how do we save up? How much should we save up? I would be looking to save up at least an extra 1K to 2K. Okay, saving up. Now, how can we actually access this money? Well, you've got your job. As a student, you're at university. There is SFE. There is overdrafts, student overdrafts. You can get access to £1,000, £2,000 in overdrafts, which you can use. Also, don't be reckless, okay? I know what it's like to be a student, guys. When I was 18, don't get it wrong, you know, I was partying 2-3 times a week. I was going up to different types of unis. I was doing the most for no reason. It was fun, but it was just a waste, okay? I was spending money on clothes. I was spending money on all sorts of things, just reckless, right? And I regret, and I don't regret doing it, because you have to learn, you have to go through these things. So it is what it is. But don't be reckless. My second year, the reason I managed to flip £300 to 25K, by the way, which I've broken down in one of my YouTube videos recently, so make sure to give that a watch, is because I wasn't reckless. I saved up the money that I had from my job. I didn't invest it into a holiday, drip, or any of those things. I didn't deserve it, respectfully, at the time. I needed to build a business, so I was not reckless. I used this and this to add this. But here's the key thing. When you add this, you cannot be adding this without essentially knowing what you're doing. So this is where mentorship comes into play. And this is what I did. I got mentored. So this is where you get mentorship. Now you've seen how Amazon works. You know how it works. So you're confident that you've seen some sales, but you kind of don't know what to do now. You know, you've kind of made a little bit, you know, that's really it. That's as far as you get. So now mentorship comes into play, because now you learn scaling methods and advanced methods. And you have the capital to afford to learn how to do it. So if you've added 2K, you maybe have had £700 now in the business because you made a bit of profit. You've got 2.7K, put that into mentorship, you're still going to be left with at least maybe 2K or 1.8K left. And then that, if I'm honest with you, if you give yourselves, and if we do it again, post mentorship, right? And if I think about students that have been in the mentorship, maybe like Sarah, Johnny, even Sane started with 1.8K. He managed to flip this all the way to 10K in the space of, I think it was 5 months, he managed to do this. So that is a quite outlandish return. It's not heard of. However, if you go on a rough 30% basis per month off that 1.8K, you essentially, and I'll actually type this into my laptop now as a revenue calculator, so ROI calculator. And one thing to do, guys, is if you see my laptop here, so one thing you should do is go onto a investment calculator. So this is what I did when I was at university. I had this investment calculator which I calculated how I would literally flip £300 to 25K. And what I would put in here, guys, is if you've got £1,800, give yourself 12. It says 12 years, but that's 12 months. Give yourself an average 30% return. And this is without actually adding any more money. This is just pure reinvestment. Let's see where we can get to in a year of consistency. So you can get to 40K at the end of the year. Now, how realistic is that? I'm not going to say that it's unrealistic. I think at the start, though, will you actually be continuously able to spend this 1.8 without extra expenses like staff costs and stuff like this? So genuinely, what I would do is basically, this is telling you that in terms of interest, you can get to basically 10K a month in a year. How outlandish is that? I actually don't think it's that outlandish. If you use the methods that I'm showing you, especially in the coaching, you know, whether it's one-to-one or group coaching, I show you exactly how you can get to here in 12 months. I managed to do it in 2 years because I didn't know what I was doing. I'm giving you away everything that has helped me get to more than this, about 15K. Starting with this, remember, I started with this. I built my money through this. You know, I built my money through FBA. That is how I did it. There is no reason why you cannot, in the space of 12 months, take this 2K. Let's be pessimistic and take this to 20K. That's on a pessimistic level. That is on an average of a 15% return, and that's being pessimistic. 20K, because I always like to be pessimistic anyway. 20K. We have now got to 20K, and 20K leveraged with 30% per month if you do it properly. And then obviously you can add in more cash flow, because when your business matures, you can get business overdraft. So you can get a business overdraft of 20K now, and now you've got 40K to play with. So now if you've got 40K to play with, you could actually be making 8K per month in profit. And that's, again, something I go through in the coaching in a lot more detail, how you get access to these things and how you manage your cash flow and inventory and so forth. But if we take it even conservatively, you could be on a 5K per month. Going from a broke university student to 5K per month, I did it in 6 months, so you guys can do it in 12. There is no reason why you can't do this following exactly what I'm telling you to do. If you watch me, if you dedicate yourself, if you're disciplined, there is no reason why you can't get to 20K to 5K per month. If you dedicate yourself, if you're consistent, there is no reason why you can't go from having 2K in your bank account to 20K in a year. I did it in 6 months. If I can do it in 6 months, why can you guys not do it in less time with the knowledge that I wish I had when I started? And this is how you actually escape out of the situation that you're in. I'm giving you a blueprint here on what you can do. So make sure that you guys actually do follow it. So you can get to 5K per month in a year following this strategy as a part-time university student, starting with £500. Now, as you guys can see, in terms of actually timing-wise, like how much time do you need? Because you're a uni student, you're going to have at least 4 hours per day, okay? At least. So I definitely think that this is a lot more achievable. Now, you may have to hire, like VAs, for example. Hence why I said 20K, because you might have staff costs and stuff like that, which won't be to 20K, by the way. But you will be hiring, you'll be using prep centers as well. And this is essentially how you would do it. You will essentially do this. Luckily, because you're a uni student, I believe that you can get to or get off your feet with the time that you have, you know, the 4 hours per day. You can kind of get off your feet a lot faster because you have more time. We'll speak about 9 to 5s and apprentices in a minute, about how they can do it. But as you can see here, guys, 4 hours per day, VAs and prep centers, you can get to 5K per month in a year. And 5K per month will allow you to quit your 9 to 5. Like I said, that is on a conservative level, yeah, you can quit your 9 to 5. You can even drop out of uni. That's what I did. So that's part-time and uni students. We said 1.8K flip. That's post-mentorship as well. Remember, I said add in money to 20K. Not as far away as you guys think. And then that gives us 5K per month. And the smart thing would essentially be you use a business overdraft. So you have a 20K business overdraft, which allows you to have a 40K budget. And then off that 40K budget, if you're making conservatively 20%, that's 8K per month, you can now take a small salary of 2K per month for sure, or even 2 to 3K per month. And you see how now you don't have to work a 9 to 5 and you're actually building something. You're still left with 6K per month after that, or at least 5K if you have any prep costs, staff costs, whatever. So you're making 2K per month and you've got an extra 5K per month that's actually compounding. Do you not see how great this is? And then in the space of a year, you can now have, instead of a 20K balance, you could have 100K liquid. Most people work a 9 to 5 for 5 years, save every single penny, do stock market, not even 5 years, it will have to be more than that. And they've still probably not got as much money as you will have. You could get to 100K in 2 years. And you can have a load of fun because you're actually earning as well. And you're doing it in your own terms. You're not stressed out. You can actually, this, like I said, this can actually only take you 3 hours of your day. Those guys are working 8 to 10 hours a day, sucking up to people they don't even like. You can do it in 3 hours per day. You can now have an extra 8 hours to build something else on top of that. Do you not see the beauty of running an online business, people? It's absolutely exceptional when done properly. It's tough, but when done properly, it is exceptional. Let's move over to these guys here now. The apprentices, the 2.5K plus guys. Now, you guys have a lot less time. I think you have 2 hours per day, most of you. You're working very, very hard. You have 2 hours per day maximum. So you need to be getting your hands on money straight away because you need to basically automate somewhat fast. And you also have no time to waste in terms of, remember I told the uni guys you can do a bit of YouTube and you can kind of give it a go yourself because you've got low capital. You guys don't have money to waste and you also don't have time to waste. So you guys need to learn. Hence why most of the students in SS University are in this position. You guys understand that you need to actually learn and then automate fast. So obviously, if you're starting with 1.5K to 2K, you know, you're going to lose maybe, well, not going to lose, but you're going to invest at least a K of that into learning. So you're still going to be left with at least 1K to start. So you still got 1K to start. Now, you're going to need to automate. Now, automation can cost you anywhere between 150 to 300 pounds per month. But the great thing is you have salary coming in. So you just need to subsidize at least 300 pounds a month to keep this business running in terms of automation. That's a minimum of 150 per month to keep things flowing. So you've now got 1K and then you've got that per month basically being your cost. And that allows you to put this 2 hours all the way to at least 8 hours of work and plus, because you're going to have staff. Okay, and that will help you to progress in a similar way as these guys, but just with slightly added costs. But it's not a big deal because you've got money coming in. Okay, so you need to play your game. You need to use your leverage. Okay, like I said, if you've got 1.5k to 2k, that's cool as well. Again, you can do your learning, your mentorship. If you've got 2.5k plus as well, or if you've got 5k or even 10k, if you've got 10k plus, you know, you just want to do, it's the same thing. You just want to do learning and automation pretty fast. But I would recommend if you've got that much money, you're better off doing some sort of one-to-one learning. It's going to benefit you a lot more because you need a tailored plan rather than a plan that works for these guys, because you're at that level where you got 10k now. These guys are trying to get to 10k or 20k, so you're already there. So you need a bit of a more advanced plan. Does that make sense? So that is the difference with those. But 1.5k to 2k is enough. Like I said, you can do learning. And let's say, like I said, you're left with 1.5k to 2k. Okay, so if we start off with 1k, same thing again. If we do 1k, but look what we're gonna do differently. So we're gonna do on our laptop. So we are going to do 1k, all right? But this 1k, we're actually going to do additional contribution because you guys have money coming in. I think you guys could easily add another £250 a month. Watch how you will scale even quicker because you're adding in money. So you guys actually got to 63k by the end of the year. So you guys could add £250 a month each month. Again, your ending balance would be 23,000. But if you're adding in £250 a month, when your balance ends here at 1.3k, instead of now you've got, you know, 1.3k to invest and then you'll make 30% on that, you will now have 1.5k to invest. So you'll basically skip a month. Yeah, so you'll actually you could actually get there a bit faster. Does that make sense? So that's the other thing as well. You could get there a bit faster than most of the other people. But the only thing is you're going to have that added cost. So do you see how maybe the £250 you add in each month is going to go to your staff? So either way, you might either scale up faster if you don't use staff, but then you don't have enough time. So I would recommend that £250 you have that you're going to add in from your job will simply cover your staff expenses to allow you to run the business. Otherwise, you won't be able to run the business. So £250 a month will go to your staff. You will then get to the same position as the other guys, if anything, with less work, and you have money coming in as well. So these guys don't have money coming in, whereas you actually have your 9 to 5 wage, which maybe covers your expenses, so you're good in that way. You can still get to 20k in the space of 12 months as well. So it's pretty much the same, and it's funny, 20k looks like the name Zach as well. But you guys can get to the same position as them, and then, like I said, in a year's time, you've got 5k per month coming in. And like I said, that is on a conservative basis, guys, a conservative basis, being able to get this sort of result. So I've broken down for you exactly how you're going to quit your 9 to 5 with Amazon FBA. Let's actually talk about now what you can do from here. So what are the actionable steps? Let's write that down. What are actionable steps? So if you're a uni or you're part-time, I'd even say like sixth form as well. Is this. Regardless if you've got only £500 or you've got 1k or you've got 1.5k plus, regardless, start now. Get to this point and then you can do learning. Yeah, you can do learning because then you can, which equals, as you can imagine, scale. But at least start now. This is enough to start. So at least start. And this is start and free guide. Yeah, so start plus free guide. Then what else do we have? We have start plus free guide. We have mentoring, which equals scale. And then we have from here, with mentoring, which equals scale. We have 9 to 5ers. We have essentially apprentices. And to be fair, I have some people who basically just don't work. You don't want to go back to work. Let's even put unemployed. Because if you're unemployed, you need to build something ASAP as well so you don't go back to work. Your thing as well, most of you guys will have 1.5k plus. Or you'll have 1k with money coming in. So you can even, again, do mentoring. So again, mentoring, automation, and scale. And like I said, guys, I wouldn't be preaching something I didn't practice myself. It would be disingenuous of me to say to you guys, do this, if I didn't do this. This is exactly what I did. All I'm doing is sharing to you exactly what I did. That's even why I built SS University as well, because I understood that you kind of need to be taught with Amazon. And respectfully, I think I'm one of the best. Instead of you guys learning from some person who doesn't really care, they don't understand your situation, they just want money out of you. They're going to give you pre-recorded stuff as well, which is just a bunch of bullshit. I designed something where I'm basically churning out Amazon sellers with this strategy consistently. You guys have hopefully seen the results. I can plunge them in the middle of this video for you, or around the video. I'll put it on the screen or whatever. You can also visit my Instagram, Zach SS Uni. It will have tons of results on there. You can also see on my YouTube channel. This works. It worked for me. It's going to work for you. It's worked for others like you. And this is all going to be done live as well and stuff like that. And also, I'm giving you a free guide. I'm giving you a solution. I want this to work for you guys. I really want to share to you the life that I'm able to live. You know, I think, and this isn't even being arrogant, but I'm able to live in places like this, as you guys can see. 2 years ago, I had basically £500 to my name, or £300. I had minus £990 in my bank account, worked the job. You know the story. I've completely turned my life around, generally. Like, I've completely turned my life around. I've driven basically all my dream supercars. I own a V8 at 20 years old, which most people will work their life and then have that V8 and be very happy with that. I've moved out of my parents' home. I'm living in this nice apartment. There's so many old people here who are all like, this is like the peak of their life. This is only the start of mine. I'm only just getting started. And I was able to do it through Amazon FBA. I was able to build up a bunch of cash through Amazon. And then it's not even that Amazon alone built me this. It's the fact that I built Amazon, which allowed me to have more time to do the trading, the crypto, even running this university as well and teaching you guys social media, even another business that I've launched with one of my business partners, which is doing good as well. Options. And that is what I want to give you guys. I want to give you guys options, solutions, and strategies. I really do what I say. What I teach works. This isn't no pre-recorded. This is all live. This is all me showing you the raw reality of running this. It's no, oh guys, join my course and you'll get rich with Amazon. Watch these videos. It's strategy. Strategy is so important. Strategy, vision, execution. Those three things, you have those right, you will get right to the top and you will be able to change your situation. And dedication as well is going to be important, guys. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. We've got numbers on the screen here. This is all theory. Remember, we need to have game, not theory. We need to actually apply it, okay? So this is the step-by-step of what you need to do. Follow this now. Any of you watching this, for me, I only want people in my audience who are working towards this. If you're not working towards this and you're not doing what I'm showing you, then please stop watching these videos because you're just wasting your time, okay? There is no point you binge watching these videos and just seeing them, a little bit of motivation. Yeah, I want to get to FBA, quit my job, and then just go back to being a loser. Stop doing that. Stop watching these videos, then going back to being a loser. I've given you exactly what you need to do. If you're watching me, if you're subscribing to me, I want you to do this only. And this is how I want to create a whole community of people that are going to change their lives through me. And for me, that is my purpose. I want to change people's lives. I want to inspire you guys. That's my purpose. That's my bigger reason for doing all of this. And I actually want to leave an impact. So please, please, please follow what I'm showing you. Please follow it. It will work. It's worked for all of the students that I've listed today. I'll remind you again, Cedric, Hane, Ali, Chris, Finn, Nick, so many, so many. Make sure to save this video. Make sure to take actionable steps. Make sure to subscribe if you're new as well. And I'll be sharing a lot more detail into how you can actually get started. Remember, I've given all the options in terms of free guide. The free guide is in the link in the bio. The mentoring, the link in the bio to join SS University as well. Make sure to hit those up and I'll see you on the back end. Take care, everyone.